not kidding.
Okay, just starting up the live stream. I think we're, oh, let me admit those. I need a,
Does my volume sound okay?
yeah, you're good. You're
Perfect.
perfect. All right, admit. Be with everyone in just one sec. Just technical housekeeping stuff. Oh, the heck? There we go. Nope, nope. How do I disable? There we go. Enable, bam, admit, and we're good. And let's do that. Okay, I think we're good. So we're restreaming, we're Zoom here live, and wow. All right. Admit. Oh, I have an echo. It's a live stream echo. Good thing I looked over. Sorry, guys. All right. Wow. Crazy stuff going on in today's world, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining this Tuesday. So, normally we have our Tuesday coherence meditations, but in lieu of the chaos that's going on with the Hurricane Helene and Milton, we are kind of repurposing our Tuesday to accommodate that and to basically it's kind of like an outreach slash standard weekly Tuesday coherence meditation. So for anybody that is new here that is not aware, we actually do our coherence meditations every Tuesday here. So welcome to join us live here on Zoom. We restream over to YouTube and Facebook. We do prefer you here live on Zoom if you can. Of course, by all means, go over to YouTube or Facebook. If by chance we have our Zoom at capacity, you will be redirected over to YouTube. We thank everyone for joining today. Let's see here. I got a couple notes, and yeah, guys, just prior to this call, Seth and I were just kind of shooting the S. And we were just remarking on just the chaos and all these hurricanes that are going around. And Seth sent me something that actually kind of reconfirmed what I was listening to last night, is that they have classified Hurricane Milton as like a 5+ category, but that's mainstream. So 5+ is basically, I guess they don't have a category for it. So what Seth sent to me was that the winds are getting up to gusts of 225 miles per hour, with 180 miles per hour max sustained winds. So this is the second strongest hurricane ever recorded by pressure on this side of the world. The eye is tiny at nearly 3.8 miles wide. You know, I do have some friends that are just west of Florida on little islands and everything, and I know some of them are getting off of that and they're making way inland, but I really hope everybody is making their way inland and is safe with everything down there. So anyways, guys, so we're going to go into a coherence meditation. I did want to also preface this by saying Saturday and Sunday, was it? No, it was Sunday. We actually held 2 meditations, one at 8 a.m. Pacific and then another at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And those were awesome. So thank you everyone for joining there. And one of the things that I actually did on that call was I put out this right here. Where's my transition? Right there. I put out this QR code and it was actually pretty interesting. I use this same audio right here. This is a frequency that you can place in the background. If you have some means to do it, go ahead and place that in the background. And I was going pretty deep on Saturday for a second meditation. So I was really excited on that. And I know that we have had some great feedback on that. So anyway, I'm going to hand it off to Seth. So what's up, brother?
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it as always. Everybody here, so grateful for this turnout. My God, there's still hundreds of more people that I haven't even gotten back to yet. So I'm doing it one at a time, trying to be as personal as I can, really make a connection, because that type of behavior to create healthy relationships in integrity with what we know we're capable of being and producing in this world. When I'm like that, when others are like that, I feel it and they feel me because we all are this. We are all these adults that at one point were children with pure consciousness. We didn't have language. We didn't identify with what we think the world is according to the languages we speak. And we hadn't put up a prison of self-imposed prison that keeps us stuck. We didn't know we did that. And so all of the awe and mystery and wonder of being like a child just went away because we traded that in to be in a state of stress. And obviously, the type of world we're in, the Industrial Revolution, everything that's come out of that, consumerism, it's all based upon a bunch of precepts of we got to give our sweat equity and our life force to living in the system, work 9 to 5. We have to just give it all we've got, no matter how stressful it is, because that's the world we live in. And that it's been like that for most of our lives, most of our parents and grandparents. But so many of us are coming to the realization, or we've come to this realization already, that that's not how to live. Because even if we're good-hearted individuals and we're working to take care of our family and make the world a healthier place, it's kind of hard because we're dependent on cars, houses, all these things that are made out of non-sustainable practices. And this isn't, sometimes people are like, oh, well, you're an environmentalist and, this is your agenda. I'm like, I am a political atheist and I always have been. My agenda is to get individuals so in tune with the life force that is causing the heart to beat, to know themselves as that, to create that relationship so that you are so in harmony with this infinite intelligence that is causing all the systems of the body to work together, whether we're asleep in our bed or walking around during the day. Because when we make that connection and we sustain it, and then we interact with others who are doing that, that's how we create change. It's how we create community that's healthy without any of the old, there's lots of intentional communities. We all know what happens with most of them. They all end up turning into weird cults with all these different things. And it's because nobody has really helped everybody to really come to terms with just how powerful we are. This life force that's causing the heart to beat, that allows us to perceive reality at all. That's what's really going on. But we're born, we learn to be who we think we are, and we just lost it for a few moments, but it never went away. It's always here. So I want to tell everybody, if you have water, or if you don't have water, bring some with you. Yes, especially for this, because we're going to do something tonight that, well, I've never really done it. I did things similar to it, but for those who don't know Veda Austin, you should check out her work. She basically, with the motto messages from water, where they were showing that emotions and words and songs and stuff had a physical effect on water. And they're showing ice crystals under a microscope. And they're amazing. They're as beautiful as could be. And it shows like the difference between love and hate. And you can clearly see which one's more structured or more robust and healthy. And Veda has done that to a level that I don't think anybody alive has done. And I've had the good fortune and blessings to have done probably 30 episodes together where she shows everybody all of this. And Veda Austin, you got to check it out. But what she's done beyond what Emoto and others have done is it's not just under a microscope. In fact, it's not even under a microscope at all. You can see it with your naked eye. You can see photos of what she's doing and showing how profound human consciousness and whatever level or state of being that we're at. Like if you're angry or you're hurt or you're traumatized and you're wounded and you don't want to heal and you bring that energy to the water and then you freeze it, it'll be pretty clear what the result is. If you're choosing to rise above the conditions of your conditioning, to know that whatever it is that is causing all these complex systems of our body to work together with, it's an invisible bioelectromagnetic frequency of reality that isn't just static like you would think lightning or something is. It is intelligent. It knows how to make all these systems function and work. And look at how few of us have a full conscious relationship with it, to the degree that when we are that in tune with our own life, which we're not separate from, then it gets pretty easy to be objective and to look around and, be like, it's not working. Time to make some changes. And the way the world has become, it's finally starting to reveal that the way we have lived, us unconsciously consenting to trade in these childlike states of joy, of awe and wonder for stress and trauma and just living in that. I think like more than 80% of people in Western cultures live in a consistent state of stress. So we're going to break that. And there's been things that have happened with, there was a a river poison a few years ago. And so myself, Veda, and a few others, we got together and we communicated with the river. And it's not as woo woo as it sounds. And in fact, when Veda started showing her work to scientists, open minded scientists, but very much scientists who, the whole thing is like, okay, but can you prove, is it replicatable? And keep doing it over and over and show that it works. And they didn't think that she could, but she did. She showed that the results were replicatable. No matter how many times they would do it, it wasn't the exact outcome every time, depending on what. And I'm being kind of vague because she does a lot of different things, like pictures to water and what the influence of that is, words on water, music on water, relationships, friendships. She covers so many different areas of it, including, water isn't just water, it's in everything. All the fluids of our body obviously are made up of water, but all these different extraneous or external factors or internal factors, meaning whatever kind of minerals, whatever could be in our bodies, is going to show in the fluid of our bodies, the water of our bodies. And when you begin to know yourself as a truly elemental being, we are the elements, all of them, and way more. And when we choose to know ourselves in this way, with harmony, with integrity, we can literally communicate with the elements, with the forces of nature. And whether, of course, there's human made influence in all of it, it's not even a question. Whether it's entirely human made or it's entirely natural doesn't really matter, because what matters is that there are very much living elements of it that are natural, that come from nature, which is the predominant force of reality in this world, on this world, whether we can see it or not. And when we begin to get in tune with these elements within us, personally, individually, collectively, we begin to have an influence on them. So we're going to do that tonight. We're going to get into states of heart and brain, whole body coherence, and we're going to communicate with this hurricane. And I've been tuning in, and it's angry. It's got all kinds of emotions, and it's not just its own, it's a reflection of everything that's going on. And can you blame it for being that way? I mean, if it's being fed with stuff like Miracle Grow or whatever, I'm just making like analogies, even if it's being treated by human stuff, it is still natural elements that have existed far beyond any industrial revolution. So, wherever you are, I want everybody to get comfortable, whether you're sitting down, laying down. You can be standing up if you want. Sometimes people do that. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Closed is easier often because, especially when we first start doing this work together, because one of the more immediate goals is to get ourselves identifying with the life force that we truly are, but that it seems like it's invisible or it's not there. It's there. And when we get in tune with it, we are offered the ability to commune deeper with it, to know our bodies as this miraculous force of beyond genius intelligence and who we think we are can be influenced directly or predominantly by that force rather than everything external to us. So, wherever you are, just get comfortable. Trust that your chair, your couch, or your bed for this time that we're spending together, trust that it's got you. You're safe. Even if you're in chaos all around you, if you're here, it's likely that for this time we're spending together, you can choose to feel safe. And from the top of your head, begin to slowly scan down through your head and throughout your body at whatever pace you want. And just relax each part of your body. Can relax it all at once. And the more that you relax and feel safe, supported, held up, the more you acknowledge this, the deeper you're able to relax. And the deeper that you're able to relax, you can begin to sense tension or micro tensions or resistance in certain parts of your body. Maybe there's something in your organs that you keep feeling. recurringly. Maybe it's pain, physical pain, or maybe it's none of that. Maybe it's emotional. Maybe you have spent years of your life thinking and feeling about the same things over and over so that the energy that's in your body, your life force that's causing all these complex systems to work together, maybe that energy that's there isn't allowed to do its job as well as it could because we keep diverting that energy and sending it into these stress, thought, and feeling loops. We can relax and let go of all of that right now. And so, as your body is relaxed, slow your breathing down. 5 seconds on the inhale, 5 seconds on the exhale. And without even thinking about it, just kind of set that tempo or that rhythm of breathing into motion. Because as you relax your body, as you acknowledge that you're safe, and as you slow your breathing down, you can start to really become aware of the body's autonomic nervous system. Meaning, when you get relaxed enough, rather than feeling like you're breathing, you can feel what it is that is breathing you. Because if you just suddenly went unconscious, we know that many of the vital functions of our body would continue to work for us, to us, through us. And to acknowledge that no matter how stressed out we can be, no matter how imbalanced we can become as a result of living in this world, no matter what any of that is, when we get calm, when we slow down, we begin to feel the intelligence of our body at work. Our heart is beating. All of these systems of our body are communicating with each other. And this is going on all the time. And as kids, we were so much more used to this and aware of it because our bodies were forming and growing. And we were curious, all of us. We wanted to explore what it was to be in this body, to be this person that we believe ourselves to be. Without even knowing it, most of us were all in with this phenomenon of life, this invisible life force energy that we all truly are. And it is made up of frequencies that can't even be measured. We literally have the ability to see and hear so much deeper and so much farther and even so much closer than anybody ever taught us that we could do. So you're totally relaxed. You feel safe wherever you are. Your breathing is slowed down. And put that inner smile on your face. And everybody who joins us regularly, they all know why we do this. Because when you put that little smile on your face, it can be a huge smile if you want, but all that's required is just a little smile. Because when you put that smile on your face, suddenly you feel better and you are immediately affecting your body chemistry. Now, of course, some people will say, well, I'm not going to smile because I'm not happy. This happened, that happened. It's their fault. But you know what? When we exercise our ability by choice alone, that we can choose to alter our body chemistry just like that with an inner smile, with a relaxed body, with slower and deeper breathing. This is the foundation for us to not only return back to those pure states of being that we all experience as children, it allows us to heal. Because whatever it was that knocked us off balance, that was a big deal in each of our lives. And maybe we didn't know how to handle that. And so we kept focusing on everything else around us because we didn't know how to process what we felt. So as you return to these states, your body naturally begins to heal. And you return to these feelings as a kid. But here is where it gets really interesting and really phenomenal. And that is when we're born, we have a certain amount of energy in our body. And it's just enough to keep our body functioning and causing it to do what it does. But for the most part, we don't really have more energy. We do, we just don't know it. And so when we're in a state of stress or victimization or blame or any of the things that the world teaches us and that we make a habit out of focusing on, to the degree that our personality literally becomes addicted to who we think we are with very little awareness of what we are. This invisible, beyond genius, intelligent life force that's operating these bodies. And so when we get into these states of being that are simple, as I said, you're just body's relaxed, breathing slower, feel safe, put on that inner smile, and you make a habit of sustaining that state. Maybe you only work on it 5 minutes a day, maybe 5 minutes 3 times a day, to whatever degree you choose to make a commitment to consciously developing what many would agree is the most important relationship of all our lives, from who we think we are to what we actually are, and bridging that gap where it seems like something isn't connected, or that we have no idea how we will ever know ourselves as we truly are. But as we sustain these states of being, and if we can begin to feel our actual heartbeat in our chest, and of course, when we're in coherence and calm, but at the same time, our awareness is bright, when we're in these intentional states of being, and we can feel our heartbeat, then we can begin to realize and to feel that we're able to feel the pulse of our heartbeat anywhere in our body. You might not be able to right now, or maybe you've always been able to do it. Or you could have a breakthrough where you realize, wow, I can actually feel my pulse in my little finger or my little toe, or all the pain in my tummy. You can feel your pulse there. When you take these core elements of that inner smile, of the gentle breathing, of the relaxed body, with the feeling of safety, and you begin to feel your pulse anywhere in your body, you can infuse the feeling of this foundational state of being into anywhere where you can feel your pulse. And so if you have long-term chronic pain in a certain part of your body, and you make the habit of being able to feel your pulse in that part of your body with the feeling and effect of that smile, with the calm state of being from intentionally relaxing your body and slowing your breathing down. And when you can make the connection that the way you feel combined with feeling your pulse from your heartbeat anywhere in your body, where that pulse and where that intention to interweave that pulse with these feelings, that's when incredible things begin to happen. It becomes able to break up the pain, the blockages. There's so many things in us that we have not even really just tried to bypass, but we've tried to live as though we have a handicap. And we buy into this image of we're not good enough, or we feel guilty, and maybe this is how we're paying it back. Whatever these feelings of low self worth are and where they come from, when you simply take this intentional state of being and you feel it where your heartbeat meets the pain, and it's not just physical or in your body, you can meet emotional pain or struggle in the exact same way. At first, you might think that you don't know how to focus on the feelings of emotions because it doesn't seem like it's in a particular specific place in your body. But the more you dwell in this space, the more your intuitive and instinctual knowing of how to address the root cause of what causes you to suffer, it starts becoming self-evident. Like the answer or the solution was always right there in front of you, but you just didn't focus on it because you were too busy being stressed out from holding on to all the things you could have let go of had you known how to do it. And creating these foundational states of being where we, person that we think we are, is conscious of this energy, of this body that we really are, and the source of where that energy that operates the body comes from. That is us. That is in us. We are that. And we have full, authenticated birthrights to know ourselves as this source of our life force. And when you nurture this relationship of getting to know yourself again, you got lost early in life, but you're choosing to come back. And when you cultivate and nurture this relationship, this energy begins to nurture you. And the more you spend time working on this relationship, all of the limited energy, you could say, that's in our body, kind of like I was saying before, there's only a certain amount of energy in the body, and we divert it into all these neural networks and pathways that are built upon stress and resistance and fear and jealousy and competition, all the things that the world has taught us. When we let go of all of that and we create a solid, coherent state of being that we sustain, and we realize that our pulse, married with our intention to feel it anywhere in our body, is likely some of the best medicine that we could ever get. And it didn't come from out there, it came from right in here. And not just right in your heart, it is coming throughout every part of your being. And it's not just here in this world as it appears to be with our limited senses. We are already in full connection to what others would say are multidimensional realms, or all these different words that mean deeper forms of awareness and connection. It's already there. And the only thing that prevents us from living a life harmonized to that is this illusion that we didn't even realize we created. It stems from our pain, drama, or trauma. And we didn't even know it. And so we just built ourselves into this limited structure of self awareness where, without even knowing it, we've held ourselves back. We traded in the awe and wonder and inspiration of infinity for what is very limited. And most around us do that. And so, limitation, fear, fences, borders, all these things that we're taught to focus on, it's just another brick in the wall of the prison that we build for ourselves because we don't realize we're doing that. But perhaps some of us have had moments where we realize we're doing that. Or perhaps maybe we're having them now, or a lot more regularly than we ever did. And one of the most exciting parts about this is that when we get into these states of being, we begin to activate these dormant perceptual centers that allow us to sense and feel and see and hear greater depths of what was always there, but that we didn't recognize because we were perceptually atrophied, meaning we didn't know we had the ability to actually exercise these different unactivated points of perceptual abilities. And when we realize that and we sustain these states of being, then there is more of this energy that becomes available to us. And so the limited energy that most people just accept as who they are, what their life is, they go through their entire life from birth to death, just barely functioning on a minimal percentage of what we all truly are, of what they are. And because everybody around us reaffirms and normalizes being this wounded little person in a dog eat dog world, because of that, we have cut ourselves off. But when we realize that we did that, we can forgive ourselves. We can come back into our birthright, which is to know ourselves as we truly are. And when we sustain just a basic state of heart and brain coherence, then before long, we go into whole body coherence. All our organs, glands, fluids, everything becomes syncopated to the beat of your heart, and you are the observer observing all of this happening. knowing this energy that you are, that is in you, literally eventually getting to a place where it's almost like there's a holographic overlay that you begin to sense that is connected everywhere within and around your body. And when you begin to perceive yourself in this multi-dimensional way that isn't even multi-dimensional, it's all the same dimension. It's just different and varying degrees of it. But when you get back in tune with how powerful this life force it's causing the heart to beat truly is, then at some point, because you made a habit, literally chose to make a habit of doing this, and you did a little bit consistently every day, maybe not much at first, but you keep doing it, keep doing it. And then a month or so later, a couple months, you wake up and you realize, wow, I feel elevated. I feel uplifted. I feel confident and I feel my strength returning. And when you correlate that realization to the recognition that you helped create that within yourself, with every part of you that is available for you to learn about and connect with and create a deep relationship to. When these aha moments show up out of nowhere because you know that you created this habit, that piques your interest. And before long, you can't wait to go deep into these states, just like a kid in love with anything in their life. You're all in. You are making this relationship of who you think you are interwoven into what you are, this invisible energy. You're making that the most important relationship of your life. And you are bringing all of yourself to that relationship, just like you would any serious life partnership relationship. And so you bring all your strengths, you bring all the things that you think hold you back, and you have no option but to be fully transparent, because even things that you try to hold back that maybe you're not ready to face about yourself, it's not going to go away. But when you learn how to face all the things that you don't love or like about yourself or this world by sustaining these states and witnessing the atrocities and the travesties and the tragedies and the everything that's happening in the world around us, that's hard for anybody to look at. But when you create this state of being where you are literally feeling that you do not end or begin with the life force that animates your body, all the natural elements of the physical and metaphysical world all around us is here to support our efforts. When we are sincerely making a commitment to know ourselves as we truly are, and just having a split second of feeling what it's like to be fully connected and knowing yourself in that way. You don't run and hide anymore after that. You begin to get so good at being in this relationship that you're at some point able to face and witness the things that so many run from because it hurts and it's so scary, and we can't imagine how such imbalance exists in the world around us. But what if it is that imbalance, that resistance, that fear to it, that is offering us the opportunity to evolve and grow beyond it? Because when we sustain these states of heart and brain and whole body coherence, the natural world around us is already in tune to that part of ourselves. And when you get good at doing this and you walk into a room with 1,000 people and you sustain coherence, you're not impeding on anybody's free will. You are just choosing to be what you know you are, and you sustain that state of being. And before long, you begin to sense how your internal state is affecting your external reality. And when that begins to happen, you become inspired. And so you keep devoting yourself to this relationship. And then people who you would never even expect that are in your lives, they don't know necessarily what's happening, but they feel a change in you because your internal state is affecting them externally. And the part of them that feels that happening from your influence is that same part of them that they have the ability to lead their own life from. And we all have this. We all are this. And probably the second most mysterious thing there ever could be in this world, other than the mystery of life, is how there's so few who are aware of the mystery of life in them. How can you not know what you actually are? It's a great conundrum. It's a really far out paradox, but it's way deep in. And now it's not so deep anymore. It's coming to the surface because of this massive transformation. So you're totally relaxed. You're breathing slow. You have that small inner smile on your face, and you're feeling your heartbeat pulse that feeling throughout your entire being. And when we tune in to what is happening in the Gulf of Mexico, that hurricane that they're saying as of right now is expanding beyond any of their meteorological equipment, that is a big force of nature that has been disrespected. It has been abused. It has been used. We know, we know what, even if we didn't do it directly, we all have a hand at indirectly affecting it. So if all together in this state, sustained, if we can acknowledge that whatever it was that was done to that area, to that water, to the energy that's in it, whatever contribution, how big or small, we might think this is ridiculous because we have nothing to do with that. But if we take responsibility for how we perceive reality, then when we apply that perceptual awareness to something as powerful as this hurricane, then we can forgive ourselves for what we did without knowing, for what we were unconscious of. And our sincerity cannot be faked. Just like the feeling of that inner smile when focused on and built up over time, it becomes your reality. And you can't fake it because you are that. You simply chose to break out of your own prison, and you're free for the most part. Or if terrible things happen, you're able to process them so much quicker rather than most who don't know that about themselves and they stay stuck in that for years or decades of their life. We're taking responsibility for how we perceive the situation and the strength of all the natural elements and all the people, all the land, all the animals, the habitats, all of the different dimensional occurrences that are happening all around the storm and under it in the water. Just like up in space as galaxies form and spiral out in who knows how many directions, the same or similar phenomenon is happening here, everywhere in our world, and in a very extreme manner when it comes to this hurricane. So if we can apologize for anything we did without knowing that we did it, or if we did, if we can acknowledge that we had an effect, we are sorry. If we knew at the time the potential ramifications for not taking responsibility for how we got involved with abusing or hurting or using any part of the resources or anything from that area, forgive yourself and do it sincerely and let that hurricane, that force of nature, feel your sincerity because you mean it. We all do. And if we're not strong enough to sustain that right now, it's okay because we are exercising our right to develop these extrasensory perception based muscles and points and all these different living geometric fields in and around our body that when we become conscious of and use and interact with, that allows us to be able to perceive deeper into the nature of all reality, especially the one right here in us and everything around us in this world. So, whatever the intensity of the energy that is in this hurricane, from a place of extreme reverence and respect and being humbled as could be, can we ask that all of that force, the electromagnetic energy of that actual force itself, can it spiral up and into the atmosphere rather than down into the ocean and on the land? And if it will, if it decides that it can actually do that, it can take that energy and spiral it up into the sky. We can offer to be an ongoing part of that process where we, as these energy based beings that we are able to be present and support this amazing force of nature to help dissipate, to protect those who are innocent, those who are in harm's way. And if we can show up and forgive ourselves for being unconscious and interacting with the world, and if we can apologize to this hurricane for doing that, and just like the relationship we have to the source of our life force, the most important relationship there is, we can have almost the same kind of relationship with all the elements of the world around us. So let's let this being, this force of nature, know that we are here to support it. We ask that it is able to ascend, to move onward and upward, or dissipate so that it doesn't have such intensity. And if we all together right now choose to feel like the best outcome has already happened, whatever the best outcome of this situation, instead of praying and waiting for it to happen, let's do our best to feel like it has already happened. Because when you can sustain that state of knowing, of being, of success, literally success, then that is the energy signature that you radiate and emanate out into the world. And just like these states of being have an effect on the people around us, if we are all showing up to witness and be present with this hurricane as it goes through its own life cycle, it knows that we're doing that. And to whatever degree it is ready and willing to open up to us, that's not for us to decide. And we're not trying to get it to do that. We are simply taking responsibility for how we perceive this force. And if we choose to perceive it in a way as though the best outcome has already been accomplished, and we can sustain that knowing, that's how we show respect to our elders. That's how we show respect to all of these celestial bodies that no matter where we are right now, at some point below us, we're in space. And obviously, up above us and everywhere around us, you go far enough and you are in space. And that is reality. That is what is really going on. Not all the news, not all the things that everybody gets so addicted to focusing on because it feeds their addiction to stress and drama and trauma. We are choosing to make peace with the part of us that we unconsciously consented to allowing stress to interfere and interweave with our perception of reality. And now we're choosing to take responsibility to view this world and this situation through the eyes of love, of sincerity, of empathy and compassion, and making a commitment to show up as often as we can. We don't have to drain ourselves. There's a way to do this where you don't actually get drained at all. It just requires sustaining these states of being like we've been sharing tonight. Do that long enough, and then suddenly things are done through you that you're a part of. And that only could happen because it came through you. But all of that extra energy that is available to all of us, but that very few of us recognize, or if we do recognize, we don't know how to access it. Now we do. Now we have at least enough information to begin to activate and sustain these states of knowing. And with that, our powers return, and we can decree and declare and invoke the elements of reality that exist within us to be in harmony for our best health, our best outcome. And we can observe all of the phenomenon that's happening inside of us, outside of us as well. So keep everything that we shared here tonight, keep it in your awareness. Feel it in your heart. And know that you are fully capable of making an impact in your own life, in the life of those you love, and in a world that is beginning to show how unstable our effect on it has been. And if you have your water, just as you can feel your heartbeat anywhere in your body, without even considering it or wondering if it's possible or anything, just let yourself feel your pulse in the water that you have, that you're going to drink. Like literally, just as you feel your heartbeat in your chest, you can feel it in that water. And so do your best to keep revisiting this. And the main thing is consistency and working to sustain it. When you practice this regularly and you focus on it consistently, you get so much better at living and making an impact. So when you're ready, take your hands and rub them together vigorously. Get your hands nice and hot. And when you're ready, take the palms of your hands, put them over your eyes, and notice if you see or sense anything: colors, images, visions, pictures, geometries. Just notice it. You don't have to do anything with it. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Greg and I are going to keep monitoring this situation, as I'm sure many of you are. And we're going to keep showing up and doing whatever it takes to make the best possible outcome for everybody, whatever that is. But when we bring our best self to it, life knows. Life is the greatest teacher. And when we recognize and honor that, life allows us to learn its lessons. So please like, love, share, help us get the word out there about all of this. And thank you on behalf of me and everybody who couldn't be here tonight, that it's with us in spirit. We're going to keep doing it. And Greg, if you have anything you want to share.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for attending, both on Zoom and everywhere we restream, Facebook, YouTube. Um, Thanks, Bill. Thumbs up there. One additional thing, I know that we have both Helene and Milton, but we have this link right over here that you can find out additional information. Well, on Helene, I'll update it with Milton soon. But there's also a form for signing up there for the email list as well. And while you're over there, you can actually grab Seth's free book, Fight to Enlight, if you wish. So thank you, everyone. Have a great one. And Seth, what do you think? Thursday, Friday?
Yeah.
Keep it going.
We'll
I know we've had a
everybody
lot of
know.
requests to do some more this week.
Definitely is.
So,
for sure.
well, I guess we'll discuss that. We'll send out a reminder for everyone.
Yep.
All right.